Hi everyone, my name's Eliana Morgan and welcome to my YouTube channel. For my first video, I wanted to do a little get to know me, so I asked my Instagram followers to ask me some questions, and I will also just be giving you some facts about myself as well. To start, I'm 25 years old and I'm born and raised in Southern California. I'm a fashion, lifestyle, and beauty content creator. However, I am not good at makeup, so please do not expect great things from me in that department. We keep it very natural and minimal because that's all that I can do. So beauty is just a little bit mixed in there, and I include skincare in that category as well. I got my bachelor's in political science thinking that I was going to go to law school, decided my senior year that I was not going to go to law school anymore, that I was going to figure out what I wanted to do. Then I was pursuing music for a couple years and just realized that more of my passion actually was to create content. And so I decided to shift my focus away from writing music and creating content for my music channel to being fashion oriented. Don't get me wrong though, I've always loved fashion. In 7th grade, I was dead set on becoming a fashion designer. That would not have been a good call for me, so we're okay that wasn't the route that I took. But it all kind of came together in the end, I guess. Now that we've got some of the basics out of the way and you know what content to expect from me, let's get into a little bit more of the fun details and facts about myself. First off, I love coffee. You will see coffee and matcha very frequently in my content. Heavy feature. I am a very outgoing person, but I have social anxiety, so it's a weird mix. One of my goals with my social media platforms is to show that an average normal person can do this, and you do not need to meet a certain set of standards to achieve your goals. Let's get into some questions that my followers asked me. The first question is, how did I get into social media? I would say that I grew up in social media because I was a teenager when all of the social media apps started rolling out. It's always been something that I've enjoyed. I've enjoyed creating content for creating content's sake ever since Instagram first started. I would post all the time crappy photos of flowers that I would edit, the really OG Instagram filters. Was a big fan of those. Not anymore, but I think that it's always been something that has been a part of my life and I've enjoyed, and it's allowed me to express myself. So I'd say I've always been into social media, but I didn't really start considering a career or trying to pursue making any money off of that until a couple years ago. I had toyed around with the idea in my head, but I never pulled the trigger because I was just too nervous and I had other things going on that I was prioritizing. So it just never was something that really came to the forefront until a couple years ago, really a year ago. But I started to post more often a couple years ago, and then a year ago I really made the heart set decision that this is what I'm going to pursue, and that's where I'm going to put all my energy. Another question that I got is, what is something on my bucket list? And I'm going to say one answer now, and I'm also going to get into a second answer later, but because it tied into another question I was asked, I wanted to give two, so it wasn't lame, and I wasn't answering two questions with one answer. So something that is on my bucket list. Let me think. That's kind of a hard one because I feel like I have a long bucket list of things that I want to do. You can tell I didn't plan out my answers to any of these because you're seeing it now. I'm going to give two answers, even though I'm also going to give a third later. But one thing that is on my bucket list is to go live in Italy for a period of time. But I have a dog, so it's not really the most possible thing. So I'm saying that it's on my bucket list, and I would so love to do it if the circumstances were right. But I have a dog and I will choose her every day over a time in Italy. And the second thing that I would say is I would love to go to every single baseball stadium in the United States and obviously go to a game, not just go to the stadium. I would just love to be able to say that I've done that. I don't think I'll ever be able to achieve that, but it would be awesome. What is my most worn item of clothing? This is a really hard question because I am a frequent re-wearer of my favorite items. I will literally wear them all of the time. I would definitely say the hoodie I'm wearing now is one of my most worn items of clothing. In general, hoodies are my most worn category of clothing. I love hoodies. I have way too many and I will keep buying more with no shame. Right now, I'd say that my most worn item of clothing is my tan cargo pants. No, that is so not true. Hold on. My most worn item of clothing is actually my Ferrari jacket. I take everything I said back because I do wear my cargo pants a lot and they go with a lot, but I think that I have worn on a more day-to-day basis my Ferrari jacket since I've gotten it. It has been a staple in my closet and I love it, and I would love to have 10 more of those. Obviously not the same one. I want them to all look different, but if I could have a million racing jackets in my closet, I would. They're kind of expensive, so I'm gonna be happy with the one that I have. And that leads me into another question that I received, which is how many Formula One Grand Prix have I been to? I am a Formula One fan. It is included in my fashion. It's included in what I talk about in my short form videos. So if you're new here, I'm a Formula One fan. If you're not new, you probably already know that, and Ferrari is my favorite team. But that aside, I have not been to a Grand Prix, and I wish that I could say that I have so badly, but I have not had the opportunity to. And this ties into my bucket list question because it is on my bucket list to go to a Formula One Grand Prix. My dream would be to have paddock passes and all of that. I would love to go to a Grand Prix in Italy. If you know me, I'm obsessed with Italy. I will not stop talking about Italy and the trip that I went on to Italy and how much I would love to go back there. Italy has captured my heart. But if I could only go to one Grand Prix and have paddock passes the whole 9 yards, I would have to choose Monaco because it's Monaco, and that Grand Prix would be amazing to attend. I feel like it would be so fun. I feel like I would feel so out of place though, but I would enjoy it. I would soak it all in. I would really have to enter my Sofia Richie fashion era for that. What is my favorite cuisine? I think you can see this one coming. Italian. I could eat pasta every day. Another question I got, which is very out of the box, is would I lose my right arm for $10 million? Honestly, it's a hard one. As of right now, no, I wouldn't. I think that my arm is worth having around. But I think if I were in a position where I was a mom and I was struggling and that would change my kids' lives, maybe. I just had a thought. I could use some of the money to get a prosthetic arm. I might be walking back on my answer. Okay, actually, I think I would, because I could buy a prosthetic arm. If it's more expensive than $10 million and you waste all the money on it, then I take this answer back and I revert back to my original one. But if I could buy a prosthetic arm that did some functions for me, yes, I would do it, and I would save the money and set up my future children for a solid life. The last question that I'm going to answer is, what is my favorite childhood memory? I could go cliche. I'm not going to go cliche. We're really going on a travel-themed video here somehow. My favorite childhood memory is seeing the Eiffel Tower for the first time. It's ingrained in my brain. I was obsessed. And when I say obsessed, I mean like Eiffel Towers all over my room, Paris all over my room, obsessed with Paris and the Eiffel Tower as a young kid. And one of our first out of the country trips was to Paris, and my parents surprised me with the Eiffel Tower by basically going a certain route so that when we were walking, we wouldn't see the Eiffel Tower, and we'd turn a corner and boom, there it was. And I remember it. I remember I really wanted to cry when I saw it. I don't remember if I did or not. My mom can probably answer that question for you. So maybe I'll come back with the answer to that question. But it was just a very impactful and big moment in my life because I had been dreaming of seeing the Eiffel Tower and seeing Paris. And to top it off, they had told me that under no circumstances would we be able to go to the top of the Eiffel Tower. So not only did they surprise me with the reveal of the Eiffel Tower, but then they also surprised me by convincing me we would never go up to the top because it was too expensive. And then, what did we do? We went up to the top of the Eiffel Tower, and then it was a good moment with my family. My grandparents were there. It was our little... Oh, I didn't even tell people that I have a brother. I also have a younger brother. It's my parents, me, and I am the oldest, and then there's just my younger brother. Somehow missed that in the very beginning. But you're finding out now. So I've lost my train of thought like 12 times throughout this, because I just keep talking about things and then I talk about something else and then I'm so off topic, which will be a theme throughout all of my videos. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit more about me on a personal level if you already follow along, and if you are meeting me, I hope you enjoyed learning about me and about what you can expect from me content-wise, and it is so nice to meet you, and it is so nice to have you here, and I can't wait to see where the journey goes.